the IRGC elements of the regime remnants conducted asymmetric attacks in and around the Strait, cruise missiles, one-way attack drones, and small boat swarms targeting U.S. flag and commercial vessels. They also shot down one of our Reaper drones. So we responded by obliterating the radar drone sites and other targets and drone control nodes on Kesem Island and, forgive me, in our Matrama best, Goruk area, mine-laying vessels, missile launch infrastructure in southern Iran. We intercepted 2 Iranian ballistic missiles aimed at targets in or near Kuwait. We have limited escorting, shipping continued. U.S. has guided 70 vessels in recent weeks. Lebanon front, Guy very much touched on it. You have rocket and drone barrages into northern Israel. Overnight activity triggered widespread sirens, persistent low-level violations by Hezbollah, rebuilding infrastructure, tied to the Mullah regime and acting as a force multiplier. Largely peripheral. So, that's that. So as far as Israeli actions, ground advances in the south, Beaufort sector, this is when I did this before, like an hour ago. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, ordered expanded air and ground operations against Hezbollah, including deeper strikes, potentially reaching Beirut suburbs. Focuses were on degrading Hezbollah reconstitution and rocket and drone infrastructure. Yes, I don't want to go through all of it because you kind of touched on it. The big issue is that we absolutely hammered the IRGCN, like Navy, on Kesem and or their drone and or rocket forces and radar in Goruk. How the hell do you say that, Harman? I don't know how to say that in Iranian or like Farsi or Persian. How do you say Goruk?
I think is it Goruk?
I think it's Goruk. I was just telling him I've never heard of this before. There's a lot of cities.
It's not a well-known island, right, Arnare?
No, I looked it up. It's not an island. It seems like it's in Hormozgan.
Okay. Don't worry, Jeff. Don't worry, Jeffrey. It's not famous, so we don't know either. So don't worry. We need to see the Persian writing of it. I'm gonna look at the Persian writing of it, so figure it out.
It's Gerok.
Gerok. Okay, Gerok. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, go on.
Are you sure that was an abrupt stop?
Okay, good.
Oh, yeah. So I guess the bottom line is the theater is in a controlled escalation, and it's negotiated, kind of a hybrid controlled escalation and or negotiation. U.S. military and or Israeli pressure continues to degrade the IRGC and proxy capabilities, while talks are aimed to lock in different things which don't really materialize because the Mullah regime and its proxies violate everything they say. It's definitely operating as a hardened, like the IRGC and regime remnants are operating kind of like as a, how would I say this, a hardened rump. It's like a hardened like bit that's left. Risk of rapid re-escalation is very high considering all the stupid shit they keep doing. And oil markets and global shipping impacts kind of persist. Sorry about that. I didn't know how to hell this. My OCD kicked off. I didn't know how to pronounce that. I didn't know how to pronounce Goruk.
People are saying just call it Grok in the YouTube chat.
Okay, up to respond, we have Guy.
So to piggyback off of that, a bit of an update about the situation with regards to Lebanon. Apparently, the agreement is that Hezbollah is not going to shoot into Israel proper. And in exchange for that, Israel is not going to strike the Dahya, which in a sense is Israel's threat was accepted, because Israel only threatened to strike the Dahya after Hezbollah started striking inside Israel. I still see, just like the feeling I'm getting from comments is bitterness of like, why are we capitulating to whatever a foreign leader who has no direct skin in the game is telling us to do. But and it's also not as good as I thought. Like, if this doesn't include the FPVs striking soldiers inside Lebanon, then that still very much remains an open issue. But we'll see. We don't know. Like, we've been striking ever since this was announced. We had, I think, 3 airstrikes already, and there has been no attack that I know of soldiers. But then again, this is also something that would be announced only at least a day after the fact. We don't have strikes announced on the news, like strikes against us, like we do for strikes that we're performing. So it's basically a wait and see. If it's including the soldiers within Lebanon that are not supposed to be attacked, then it's fantastic. Then it's actually a really huge achievement. We only threatened to strike inside Beirut and got this result. And if it's not, then it's still decent, because it means that the threat of striking Beirut was really well taken, because Hezbollah agreed to stop firing immediately as soon as we did that. And there's actually nothing tactically important in Beirut. They moved everything out of it anyway. The only thing that matters is the psychological effect of Israel is striking the capital when Hezbollah is supposed to be like the protector of Lebanon, but everyone is mocking Hezbollah for this moniker. But if we strike Beirut because of Hezbollah, then that would further increase the already bad reputation that they have among non-Shiites.
Okay, up next we have Samantha.
Yeah, honestly, Bibi's not getting enough criticism for like the fact that he's basically just doing whatever fucking Trump wants and not going after Hezbollah. I'm sorry, but like, we need to get on that. It's absurd that the North was like literally evacuated for 10 fucking months when this war started, before like we even went into Lebanon. It's absurd that we're not making more moves to like, you know, not be like, I want Israel to not be on US, like, as dependent on the US like military aid. It's just, you know, like, Israel cannot trust the US to not at some point have a president who's not gonna like be very anti-Israel. So like, moves need to be made in advance regarding that. And there's just, we should have been going after Hezbollah much more strongly, much sooner. And also, when like Hezbollah says like, okay, I'm not going to throw rockets like directly into Israel proper, are they even including the Golan Heights? Because like,
what happened? Oh, she got disconnected.
Next we have Sketch.
Oh, she's back.
Willie, do you want to finish, Samantha?
I think I finished. I don't know if you guys heard. I ended with asking, like, when Hezbollah says they're not going to throw rockets into Israel, are they like proper? Are they even including the Golan Heights, which is like literally right there?
Okay, just so for people who might not know what Jewish Samantha is talking about, when she says Hezbollah, she means Hezbollah. Shaitan means Satan. So Hez means party. So Hezbollah means the party of God. So Samantha is calling them the party of Satan. All right, Sketch.
Yeah. Okay. I heard you guys saying there were airstrikes before they got out, before they kind of did this kind of like certain not this a stop, like there were strikes going into that area before they left, and warnings of strikes coming in. Just from a basic tactical grunt level eye view for you civilians, when you leave a place, the normal thing to do for your support is to have airstrikes going in to cover your retreat and to have artillery barrages. I'm talking standard war. I'm not saying we should do this exact thing in this situation, but when your troops are retreating, you start hitting with airstrikes and you start hitting with artillery so that while they're leaving, the enemies don't start hitting the retreat with their artillery and their airstrikes, which is what I explained earlier. So that goes both ways. You'd have your warnings, but as soon as the enemy retreats, a smart enemy would say, hey, watch out, because they might cover the retreat with airstrikes and artillery. So that would go both ways if both your militaries are pretty smart. So that would explain the larger bombardment during a period, during a I wouldn't say peace, ceasefire, like right before a ceasefire. That's what you would see. It's like, hey, we're going to stop. We're going to have a timeout. Before a timeout, you would see strikes going in just to cover your retreat. And the enemy would try to strike while you're retreating just to take out as many. This is pretty normal and standard. But civilians might think, wait a minute, if you're stopping, why are you going hard? That's just tactically what's normal.
But I really want to. Sorry, I really want to quickly respond to Israelis being frustrated with United States. I hope everybody appreciates that United States has been far more beneficial to Israel. Like Israel wouldn't be able to survive without United States help all these years, right? And I get trying to be self-reliant, but United States has been such a powerful ally to Israel. So I do, even if like I really want more, like I hope Israelis here understand that, it's no two countries are 100% mutually aligned, and every country has their own interests. But when it comes to United States and Israel, it's really hard to get more mutually aligned than United States and Israel. And that alignment is never going to be 100% perfect, but other countries are like, most countries would be jealous of having a powerful partner that is disaligned with Israel. And I understand sometimes that lack of alignment, that like even though there are a lot of alignment, but it's not 100%. That lack of alignment is not going to be 100%, and that alignment is not going to be 100%. And those areas that it's not, it's going to be frustrating. But it's important to understand that United States, you expect United States to think about America more than it thinks about Israel, right? The fact that there's already a lot of alignment means that you're going to be working with each other a lot most of the time. But if there's any place where United States is prioritizing American interests, that's what you should expect. Like that's what you expect of your politicians for Israel. And any form of frustration, I'm not saying that frustration shouldn't be expressed, but I think it should always be delivered with the gratefulness of having such a powerful ally that has benefited Israel. Like I think that gratefulness needs to be communicated alongside any criticism. I'm not saying there shouldn't be no criticism, but I think it helps if it's alongside communication of gratefulness of having such a powerful ally.
Okay, to respond, please keep them short. We have first Guy.
So here's the thing. I agree with you in principle, but it also goes both ways. Israel is by far America's most useful ally, with the second place needing a telescope to see us. And this should also be taken into account. And the issue is that the relationship is made to appear way less mutual than it actually is. And to the extent that if the US were to cancel the MOU with Israel, which some people are saying, that would be horrible for the US. But the feeling that we're like a proxy state is out there, and it seems like that's the default. And that's why we need to change the MOU, into a proper cooperation pact where Israel is also not going to be dependent on the U.S. Benevolence, which is what it appears like now. When, for example, you have Democrats going into the White House with the way things are going for the Democrats, where they would absolutely throw us under the bus and force all kinds of things on us that Israel would not be willing to accept. And so the relationship has ran its course in its current state and needs to evolve into one of a mutual partnership.
So just quick response. Sorry, BT. That's the whole point of the Abrahamic Accords. Like that's what the United States is pushing for as well, right? The United States is pushing in the direction for Israel to become more self-reliant. So the United States is like in agreement on that. And so, by the way, I don't disagree with anything you say. You're 100% completely right. And I just want to point out that doesn't, and I know you know that doesn't negate anything like that I said, because all of those do need to be pointed out. If I just want people to understand, I think like it will be more helpful to point like for people to point that out while also not sounding like they were ungrateful. But those are all very good points that I agree with.
Okay, next we have Samantha.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much just agree with everything that guy just said about how like the way that it's set up, it looks more like the US is like, you know, useful for Israel than it looks like Israel is useful for the US, but that's not true. And that Israel really is like the best ally for the US. Also, what was I gonna say? Crap. Yeah, basically that, and also damn it, what else was I gonna say?
So you can think about that.
Yeah.
Oh, go.
Yeah, so what's
okay? Think about it and put it and come back to. But let me while you think about it, let me just say something. Becoming a bit more self-reliant. I hope nobody thinks that any country could ever be completely self-reliant. Like, not even the United States of America could be one self-reliant. Like, the becoming. This is a spectrum. I hope people understand that. Trying to become completely self-reliant is basically isolationism, and isolationism has never made any country more powerful. So yes, more self-reliant, but never complete self-reliance.
Yeah. Okay, I remember now. Yeah, so I was gonna say is I agree that America has been the best ally for Israel, but that doesn't mean it's been necessarily a good ally. It's like, you know what I say with America, it's like I'm on Team America not because America is awesome, but because it's like it gets more fucked up out there.
So Samantha, you keep going back to that. You know that's your that's your bad experience that makes you say that. But okay, but I don't want to keep going back to why that's not the case. But okay, America is fantastic. All right, what are we doing, BT?
Finally, to respond, we have Sketch.
Yeah, I think the aid is greatly exaggerated. The aid is about 15% over the time, like it's about 15% discount, which means they're buying billions and billions and billions of of money going to us, and there's a small little discount that they get. That's the aid. There's an amazing amount of exaggeration of how much aid we give to Israel. We give to Israel half a Leering Center in Michigan. We give Israel 1/10 of 1 year's fraud spending in California. The amount of aid we give to Israel is a drop in the bucket when we look at our fraud. This is an extreme exaggeration. I don't know why it gets overplayed. I think it gets overplayed because places like APAC Tracker like to focus on whether or not there is some lobbying from Americans that are related, are Jewish or have some relation to Israel, but they're American. AIPAC is an American thing, and they ignore the billions upon billions upon billions of dollars of influence coming out of China, coming out of Qatar, coming out of Saudi Arabia. I am so sick of this lie that we are giving these huge packets of aid and money to Israel. We do not give them 1 cent. We give them a discount on F-35s. As far as can they go without us, I don't think you're going to have an F-35 without America. I don't think you're going to have F-15s without America. Your planes are ours. Your bombs are ours. Like most of the weapons you get them from us. It's a good partnership. You buy stuff, give you a little discount. Why do we give you a little discount? Because it's cheaper to give you a discount than have our carrier strike group over there. It's cheaper to give you a discount than to have our soldiers in our planes over there. I'd rather just sell you a plane at a discount and you watch over my interest because I gave you a good discount. It's a win-win situation. It's not like we're giving them all control over us, and they're not, giving us control over them. They're watching over it. Oh, you're going to give me a good discount? You're going to give me great weapons? Yeah, I'll watch your stuff too. Sure, I'll watch your stuff for you. You're going to give me this discount. I appreciate that discount. And you give me good guns? You're going to give me a discount? I'm going to watch your stuff. I'm going to watch my stuff. We're going to make your stuff and my stuff pass through these straits with no problem. This is a win-win situation. I am so disgusted by the exaggeration that the aid we give to Israel, a pittance when you look at our fraud. Half a Leering Center, that's what we give them. It's a pittance. And it's a discount. They don't get the money. They get a discount. Not 1 cent goes over there. They got to spend it here. I'm sick and disgusted by this lie that we give Israel aid. And I understand that because it's just 15% and they can afford to not get the discount is why Bibi has been saying for years, I want to get rid of the aid. You know why he wants to get rid of the aid? He's not dumb. He understands that the political loss from this aid, which is just a little discount, the political cost of that aid is more than the money. That's why he wants to get rid of it. That's why Bibi wants to get rid of the aid, because it is so little money that is gotten on that discount that it doesn't compare to the loss of their reputation and this propaganda about their influence to get aid. I understand if they would say, you know what, I'd get rid of the aid right now just to get them to stop saying that we're manipulating them to get aid.
Holy shit, Sketch. That was the best explanation of the U.S.-Israel strategic alliance I've ever heard. That was perfect. That was so good.
I want full Walmart.
That was so good. Oh my God, somebody should clip that part out. Fantastic. Loved it. Okay, I should write this time down. This was good. I'm going to clip this part out. Okay.
Cleanser. Next, we actually have Sketch. He would like to speak about pre-Islamic, non-supremacist pan-Arabism.
Wait. Let me do super chat. I didn't know we were going to go new topic. Okay. So quickly, we have 3 super chats. Alexia is saying, Armin and all, thank you. Thank you all for your kindness. You all being family means the world. How do I join VIP? Well, I see you already here. Javid Shah, Payande Iran. Thank you so much, Alexa, for the super chat. And then we have Fleshy Interloper. And thank you, Alexa. You're very sweet. Thank you for the kind words. Fleshy Interloper with the super chat saying, is Lebanon ever going to be self-policing? Well, I mean, ever, that's like you're basically giving us infinite time to get there. So I will say yes, because obviously at some point that will happen. But the question is when. I think it'll take a long time, but obviously if we give us infinite time at some point, unless before we get there, the whole concept of nation state has been completely removed and we're living in the cloud with AI or something. Maybe no then. Maybe there will be no Lebanon to self-police by then. And thank you for the super chat. And then we have Amir with another super chat. Thank you so much, Amir, saying Sketch hyped me so much. The confettis is for him. Okay, yeah, we had confettis in the chat. Oh my, Sketch, people in the chat were loving you. Loving you. Everybody was saying you're cooking. And Texas Troop is saying, I'm just so glad that Sketch is not cooking meth, given how well you were cooking.
My name is Armin Navabi. I'm an Iranian political analyst with decades of experience fighting the Islamic regime inside and outside of Iran. Make sure you follow me for more, and also make sure you join our discussion group. I'm there almost every single day. Come talk to me there and the rest of the people there in our group calls. It's a great place to meet and talk to people who like talking about politics. The link is in the description and or in the bio. You could also get there by scanning the QR code on the screen. See you there.